Okay, we're here with the chosen one, Tyron Woodley, former UFC welterweight world champion, preparing for a big fight August 28th, I believe so, against Jake Paul. You were in there, man. You're looking good, sweating it out. Just let me know how things are going in this training camp for Jake Paul, man. Different opponent from the ones you've seen in the past.
Yes, shout out to Buddy McGurk for giving me the hospitality to let me come into his home so freely. And also Eric Brown, who I've been training with for since 2008. We've been over a decade training together, so I'm excited. I'm training hard, leaning out, trying to make the abs show a little bit sooner. Usually they don't crack out until 2 or 3 weeks before the fight. I like to train a little heavier, prevent injuries, and I just feel like a savage. But I want to be fast and I want to punch hard, so feel good training hard. I'm a ways away from the fight, but I'm already getting a jump start on it.
Yeah. Speaking of injuries, you were talking about the hamstrings in there with Anthony Davis and James Harden. You kind of put me up on game and taught me a few things that I hadn't heard before. You want to just run that through my camera again so the people can hear that? I mean, that was pretty good.
Sometimes from a standpoint of coaching, it's just what we used to. We coach from a place of negativity, and we don't even know we being negative. Oh man, watch out for that punch, or don't overdo it so you don't hurt your hamstring. You don't even have to give what the negative consequence is. Just tell the person the instruction you want them to do to prevent it. So if you see them dropping their left hand and you know the person got a crazy overhand right, say, hey man, get their hand up, get their hand up. Just keep holding them accountable, because it doesn't really matter about the opponent having a good right hand. They should always have their left hand up, so no matter who they go. So start slapping their ass with the fucking net. Now it's programming their brain, keep your left hand up. Or the same thing, if I tell you not to look at a red balloon, you're gonna do what? Look at the red balloon.
Exactly.
So don't put a red balloon there. Just say, hey man, I can't wait till you knock this motherfucker out. I can't wait. Man, you're gonna have a great champ. Your body gonna feel amazing. You're gonna feel the best you ever felt in your life. It's gonna be the best camp you ever had. So I'm speaking that because we hear it, we think it, we can make it happen.
Yeah, I like that. And speaking of putting your hand up to protect yourself from the right hand, obviously the transition into boxing and MMA, it should be somewhat similar for you in terms of striking and boxing. You gotta focus on one thing only now. And against Jake Paul, man, how do you envision this transition into boxing? It's against Jake Paul, but it looks like he can turn his punches over, and he's learning.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fight, man. He's trying to play out. He's trying the Disney kid, the vlogger, fighting against a seasoned 5-time champion. But when he hear my face, he's talking shit. It's all a game. If you make yourself low, and you make yourself humble, you make yourself like the normal person, and you go out there and you actually do it, now you look like you're a fucking god. That's what he's doing. He on paper is trying to present my statistics and what I've done. They are all facts, but this a new avenue for me. Now, before I trained a lot of boxing. This ain't my first time boxing. I trained a lot of boxing. You'll see that when we fight. But for the first time, I get to focus on boxing. Boxing is a primary now. It was a supplement to make my hands right for MMA. But now everything is about boxing. So now I can't get away with a square stance. Now I can get away with some of the footwork and positions and my feet going in different angles because we were going for a takedown or we were going for a kick, or I had to defend the shot. So now it's got to be more strict, more linear, long, sharp. Everything is strict, and that's why I like Eric. He don't fuck around. He don't care who you are. It don't matter if you Floyd or Lloyd. You gonna throw your fucking punches right.
Yeah. Speaking of Jake, as you said about the turning his punches over or whatnot, you were there, I think, for his last fight. It looked like he put a real good punch on Ben Askren, and not just to say, I mean, if you would have put that on anyone, it looks like he would have put them down, man.
He didn't just throw a punch. He set him up.
He set him up. Yeah, exactly. He set him up.
Body punch. Froze. Came up 1-2. So he set him up, and that tells you that he's been working. Somebody's working on him on strategy and setting traps and playing the chess game. So I'm a chess player too, but I think I've been playing on this board a little bit longer, and that's where my advantage is going to come in at.
Yeah, he has a lot of detractors, a lot of believers, and you got a lot of supporters as well. 2 men heading into this fight. I know Floyd Mayweather and Andre Ward, 2 Hall of Famers. They both got into the Hall of Fame last year together. They're offering to help you, man, and support, help you prepare for this fight. Would you take them up on that offer, man?
Why wouldn't I? I'd be a dumbass. If somebody in MMA, if a boxer came in, Clarissa Shields coming in MMA, and I say, hey, Clarissa, let me help you out. Let me show you the blueprint. You think she gonna say no? Yeah, brother, let's do it. We spoke about it. We did the Titan games together. We talked about training. And I told people, I said, she gonna be kicking. She wants to be an MMA fighter. She don't want to just stop the martial arts and make it a boxing fight with 4 ounce gloves. She want to be an MMA fighter as well, and I really respect her. So shout out to Clarissa Shield. double gold medalist, world champion in many divisions, and now 1-0 as an MMA fighter.
She fought a very capable and credible opponent for her debut, and she was losing.
I like to see that she came back when she was losing.
Exactly.
She said, Coach told me I was down. He said, turn it up. And she got it in her. She got cardio for days, too.
Yeah.
She came out in that first round. When I watched the highlights of it, I thought that was the first round, but that was the third round. So
it was the third round. Yeah. As for yourself, man, if you were to work with like a Mayweather and Andre Ward, how would you like kind of schedule that or whatnot? Not to get too deep into it. And
the good thing is that we don't have a ton of time, but I'm building a base. So building a base, it doesn't matter who I'm with. If I got good sound coaches around me, whether it's Pedro in Miami, or if it's Eric Brown here, if it's Floyd in Vegas, or if it's Andre Ward in Oakland, you're gonna tell me I'm not gonna get a good base from any of them. So I'm building the base, building the stamina, the cardio. So no matter where I go, I'm in shape. I don't want to waste their time, and I want to be able to get the most. If I'm in shape enough to get 8 to 10 rounds of great work and technique from a person, I want to get that. If I can only do 3 because I'm gassed out because I ain't in shape yet, I wasted both of our time.
Yeah. So, I know if you didn't hear Dana White's recent remarks, man, he kind of rebutted.
To him, man. Bless and thank you, Dana. I made millions off the UFC, and they made millions off me. It's been a mutual situation. Everybody want me to bash UFC. I don't bash them. They gave me a chance to prove I was the best in the world. I did it 5 times. I fought in my career. I fought 7 world title fights and I won 5. So I had some bad days, but I had way more good days. So I don't have no negative thing. Dana White's doing what he want to do is protecting this brand. It looks as if this pay-per-view is going to contest with a couple pay-per-views of the UFC. It will be the biggest pay-per-view of the year. It will. Mark my words, it's going to be the biggest pay-per-view of the entire year.
Yeah.
Me and Jake Paul.
Anderson the Spider Silva, obviously a legend as well. He's fighting this Saturday. But
Jr., right?
he had mentioned it as well. He said he didn't want to say much about the UFC because he was grateful for the opportunities
he was a champion.
and
He
stuff.
was a GOAT. And why we going? It just came up. You don't have to get buried in the book. You may flip a chapter. You may go to a whole new book, and that's okay. You know, if somebody was in real estate their whole life and they said, "Fuck, I'm gonna get into sports management," and they fucking crack at that. It's no sweat. It's a whole different chapter of our life, and we don't have to get buried in where we got our name from. I got my name from being a world champion in fighting. I had a name before that from being an All-American wrestler. You know what I mean? So now it's time to get a name from being a boxer, an actor, and a complete artist all around.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that. Of course, it brings me to Jake Paul keeps kind of picking away at Dana White and trying to for Dana White.
Smart. He's smart. He a picker.
Yeah.
Hey, Dana mad. He on Dana shit. Dana mad.
Yeah.
And he know how to. He's smart. You know what's up, big dog?
I recognize you.
He know how to get to Dana. Dana's a gambler.
Yeah.
So you don't be fucking with Dana and money. So he's smart. He bet him that money. And I don't know if they made an official bet, but Dana don't like when people do that. And he can't really do much to him because he's not signed with them. But man, you may fuck around and see him sign these kids later on.
And that's what it's looking like. He's definitely giving them credit now for the markability. I don't know about their ability as a fighter, but their markability.
He said we've done this before.
Yeah.
Which means CM Punks and Brock Lesnar and things like that. So.